Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another beautiful Wednesday. Thank you so much for tuning in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community. We're giving you double the information and inspiration all the time. I really miss y'all. It takes so long to get to another Wednesday, it seems like. But it's 7 o'clock, so you already know it's the same old Jess radio show. And I'm your host, Jess, the one, the only, and a whole lot always comes with all of this. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to my YouTube. Y'all got it. Y'all tuning in. Y'all listening. I just need y'all to like, subscribe, and share. Just a little bit more if you can. It's the same old Jess radio show on YouTube. I really appreciate that. Today, I don't have any sponsors. So guys, it would be really, really wonderful if I could get some of you out there listening to be a sponsor for me. If you're looking for an advertisement, you want to do an interview, hit me up for the 414 plan, and we'll definitely make sure that happens for you. So today we are going to be discussing, drum roll please, bum, 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 what a man really wants. Did you hear me? What a man really wants. So that's going to be our topic for today. And I do have someone that's going to come on the show with me today. That's my dog, the one, the only, Marco Jenkins, aka Weez-One. We'll have him on in just a few discussing what a man really wants. So what we're going to do is we're going to hear from his point of view on what a man really wants. And y'all, I want y'all feedback after this show airs because I need y'all to tell me if y'all feeling what he's saying or if y'all not feeling what he's saying. If you agree or if you disagree. So yeah, let's get into that. So when we come back, we'll be discussing with Marco what a man really wants. You're listening to the same old Jess radio show. And I'm your host, Jess. You're tuned into WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. We coming right back, so hold tight. Don't go anywhere. Enjoy the music. Welcome back to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, and to those streaming live free through that TuneIn radio app and through iHeartRadio. You know who you're listening to, the same old Jess radio show, and I'm your host, Jess. I'm going to go ahead and just jump into it because I'm ready. We're discussing what a man really wants, aka needs. And I got my boy Weez-One in the building. What's up, Weez? Talk to the people.
What's good? It's Weez-One, Marco Jenkins, whatever you want to call me, however my kids do it. Weez-One the Great, Mr. Go Blow, you already know. Jess, thanks for having me on the show. And we're going to start it off like that. Like, normally I would say what a man really wants, but I don't feel like I'm able to speak for all men. So I want to sidebar that a little bit, Jess. And let's go with what a man really needs.
Yeah.
Now, ladies, I know. You really think that I'm about to say a man really needs a woman. That could never be further from the truth. A man really needs God.
Yes, he does.
And when I say that, there are all type of scriptures and the word itself that tells us why a man needs God. Until a man is purposely walking purposeful with God, he cannot entertain a woman.
That's the truth.
That's the truth.
Preach.
And also, let me say this. I'm speaking not from my opinion. These are not my words. I can only go biblically with it. That's the true essence of what a man really needs. So before I get up here and actually give you my opinion, I'm only going to give you the facts to where you can go back and find it within the word itself.
I love that.
For real. Now, a man first needs the presence of God. Build a relationship with God. Talk to him. Let him know your feelings. Let him know when the situation presents itself, the problem or whatever it may be, how you feel and how that makes you feel. Building that trust, building that bond with God really puts a man in tune to who he is as a man.
I agree with that. But I also think that some men are afraid to open up and talk to God or until they get into a situation and then they know him. But outside of that, it's like they're scared.
Which is correct. But a man must first find himself through God. Because of the simple fact that you have to understand that this life will throw you all different types of obstacles, all different types of problems. You may encounter hardship, trials, tribulations, and it's up to you to understand that there are feelings that you are going to go through, and most men will mask those feelings.
You're right.
A man is not supposed to cry. A man is not supposed to just do anything outside the normal of a man. And the world don't give a man awards. There are no awards for the guy that takes care of his kids.
Right.
There are no awards for the guy that doesn't cheat. You know?
Right.
So you have to understand that outside of God, a man is just a shell of a man. And I don't care, on the contrary of what any woman says, you do not want a complete man. If a man comes to you already completed, run.
And why you say that?
Because he's not completed. He's completed from what the flesh may say. You know what I'm saying? The flesh may say he is a complete man. He has a well-paying job. He has a house. He has a couple of cars.
Materialistic.
And you will be surprised at the women that will subject their kids to that type of man who's not 100% himself.
Right.
And you know it, you feel it.
Yep.
You know, God
Been
gives
there.
you signs.
Yeah.
And let me sidebar right quick. If you are a realist, or if you're not in tune with your imagination, then this is not the word for you. So you can give me all the bad views you want. You can judge the messenger and miss the message.
Yeah.
But if you are one of those people that have to see, touch, taste to believe, then this is not the conversation for you. Go back to Facebook, make your post, and do whatever it is you're going to do.
Believe life.
Correct. But for the believers and for the women that's out there that really, truly wants to know what a good man really needs, it's God.
That's it.
That's number one.
That's number one.
Number two, if you go to the book of Genesis, and I'm going to say that so you know that my words are coming from here.
Right.
If you go to the book of Genesis, God made man. He did not make woman next. The first thing he said, and this is Genesis verse 2, work. So first, you get the presence of God.
Okay.
Then you establish work.
There it is.
Meaning, not physically work. You could physically work and earn a living, but basically the work is the mind. You know, to understand that the mind, everything shall manifest through that.
That's right.
You know, so everything speaks out through the tongue, comes to life.
Right.
But everything that manifests comes from the mind.
That's correct.
All right, so we understandable on that,
That's why my granny
right?
always say the mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Correct. So think about this. All right. Now, you know what the third thing a man needs?
What's that?
You want to say woman?
What's that?
Not a woman. A man needs a roof over his head.
That's right.
That's the most important thing. You know what I'm saying? Shelter. Because without that, you cannot provide for her.
You can't.
You know?
And you can't even be your best self. Like,
Right.
when you don't have everything. I noticed that a lot of men, Like, if they don't have it all together, they can't even love the woman. So he definitely don't need you, because he can't even love you properly because he don't have himself together. And when a man actually has that roof over his head, he's getting money in his pocket, and then he comes around and becomes a different person. I noticed that.
Right.
And
let's just look at how the Bible ties in to today's reality.
For sure.
All right. God would have for a man to be as, let's say, individual as possible. Mm-hmm. Meaning you can't duplicate the next person. Your fingerprint is like that carbon copy. There will never be another fingerprint such as yours. You can be twins.
And it's still different.
But it's still different. Excuse me while I clear my throat. But yeah, the individuality of the whole thing is understanding that you must lead. And look, I'm not talking like I got this together. I'm actually just now learning these things and trying to implement them into my life. So by me learning this and knowing this, I thought it was only right that I share. All right. So once you get the work, then you get the roof. Then you build. Well, let's go all the way back, because when you get to God, right behind God is the relationship.
Right.
You must trust God. So they say to enter the kingdom, you must go back to a childlike mind. And this is where most people, I think, get it confused. And I'm not saying that this is actually what it means. So all you church folk that's really deep in it, if you care to call me and debate about it, trust me, I'm open to this. But I feel like, the relationship you build with God actually helps you with the relationship that you build with your lady.
Right.
Because when you're walking as one with God, it's easier to walk as one with your lady. And I was reading this book called Conversation with the Devil. And this guy was actually interviewing the devil.
Wow.
And the devil was pretty much telling this guy all the tricks and trades of how he gets the average human being through the power of drifting. So they got to the middle of the interview, and the guy said, well, if you were so good at this and doing that, then why, when you had the opportunity, didn't you come at me? Mm-hmm. And he said, the only reason I didn't come at you is because at that time you got married. And once man and woman combine as one, meaning two or one that comes together in God's name, mountains shall move. That makes you the most powerful force on the earth.
It is.
Two people walking and talking purposely for God.
It is.
And I promise you, everything will come together. But until a man actually finally get to that point, understand, it doesn't happen as fast for everybody.
Right.
Everybody just don't get it. I didn't get it.
Don't have to rush either.
I still don't got it.
Right.
But I'm on that bike.
There it is.
And I'm pedaling. Yeah. And you could tell from the way I speak.
Right.
I'm confident
for
with
sure.
what I say.
Yeah.
And like I said, I will debate with anybody when it comes down to what I say, because I stand on that. Now, once you build that relationship with God, that's when the childlike mind thing comes in, because you actually surrender.
Right.
And once you surrender to be obedient to God's word, meaning doing what he asks you to do, then you are able to develop a level of courage.
Word. Wait 1 second, Weez. Hold it right there. Weez is dropping the gems, y'all. He got me in here scratching my head like, oh my God. I didn't even know he thought or spoke like this. So I'm real excited about this, y'all. So we're going to take a break for a minute. When we get back, we're going to finish discussing Weez-One's topic. on what a man really needs, not what he wants, what he really needs. So you're tuned into WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Are you going on a date tonight? Want to go bar hopping or clubbing with your friends? Is your family barbecue tomorrow? Well, we have the perfect outfit for you. Shop any and all occasion apparel at www.senyareregaze.com. That's SOGNARERAGAZZE.com. Let us help bring out the sexy in you. Welcome back. We're back. You're tuning in to WDRB Media, the voice of the community. I appreciate everyone who's streaming live. Thank you so much for listening to the Same Old Jess radio show. I am your host. You already know it's just Jess, the one, the only, where a whole lot comes with all of that. If you're just tuning in, I'm so sorry to tell you, you have missed it. My dog Weez-One is in here dropping jewels and gems. He's telling us today what a man really needs. And when I tell you it's coming from the most purest place, you better believe it. For sure. So we're going to go ahead and let Weez finish the conversation. Weez had it.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to finish this out. And understand that within this segment, I'm cramming in a lot of information and I'm being side cut and all type of things are going on. So understand that if you really want to go back and actually reflect back on what I said, trust me, I'm available on Facebook. You want to talk about it, you want to get in depth with it, but let's continue on going where we're going. All right, now let me focus more on the woman this time. Understand, women, when you are with the one, I'm talking about this dude is your king, you're his queen. There should never be a drop off. Meaning, if I'm not around and say I'm Mr. Go Blow and someone was to ask my significant other, well, I really need to make this decision. I want to plan this and I want to do that, but Mr. Jenkins ain't here and I just have a couple questions for him. Do you think you can answer that? There shouldn't be any drop off. We both are working towards one common goal. You understand my dream, you support my dream. You lift me up in those nights where you see me writing these things, reading the Bible, and just doing all the things that I'm doing, preparing to step into my greatness. When you do it with such repetition, it pretty much becomes your dream too. So you should be able to reflect on anything that I got going on with my business, and there is no drop off from Weez-One to Mrs. Weez-One. And that's what you call working, walking, loving, and purpose. And I understand women, like some of y'all are y'all healing, y'all grieving while trying to love, while trying to be loved. It gets difficult. I understand that. But understand for the man, it's even more hard to coexist with the woman when you're not have a relationship with God. And trust me when I say this, if a man is praying, if a man pray over his family, if a man is intact with God, you will reap the benefits, because he is now 100% knowing who he is. And once you know who you are, you cannot be deterred from that.
That's right.
No rapper can tell me how to live my life. My steps will be ordered by the Lord. And everybody knows a good man's steps are ordered by the Lord. So once you come together and you build each other up and the relationship really starts to flourish, the marriage is really being blessed, you will develop certain tendencies about yourself, which turns into intimacy. And when I say intimacy, I really mean that. Into me, see? And that's where the passion comes in. That's when you develop that agape love. That's love unconditional. That's we argue like cats and dogs tonight, but I love you in the morning. That's that we look around and it's 30 years and we've been together. See, that's the thing with most people in social media. They only give you the best parts of their lives. Nobody tells you that the arguments, that the relationship barely made it.
Right.
So it's when he's watching football and she's in the kitchen and he look around and he goes, yo, look what I got.
That's right.
She's beautiful.
Right.
Wait. It's been 30 years
already.
You know what I'm saying? You don't count them years. Name a couple that's counting those years. And to our generation, let's please get this together, man. Let's stop making a 30 to 50 year marriage sound like a myth.
Right.
We can do this. It's just we got to stop quitting on each other so fast.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? If my mom's or somebody else's moms and whoever got a 50-year relationship, they did not quit. They worked through it. They worked it out.
Y'all, I'm bringing Weez back. I gotta have him back. He's coming back. Weez, you gonna come back?
I'm gonna come back.
Weez say he coming back, y'all. So I want to go ahead and thank Marco, aka Weez-One, for coming in today. We're going to continue the discussion next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you know how to tune into me. Go to WDRB Media, click on the Listen Live logos, and you're going to hear Jess on the same old Jess radio show each and every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Also, if you want to be a guest on the show, please email me at sameoldjessradioshow@gmail.com. I want to give some shout outs before I jump off real quick. I said I was going to shout out those who did me a video drop. So I'm going to shout out to Reginald Stevens with RS Pickups. I want to shout out to Key Glock with Lashed Out Extensions by Key. I want to shout out to Boss Cash the GOAT. I want to shout out to my cousin Tony, a.k.a. Big Juice. And I also want to shout out to Naya, a.k.a. Kingston Mommy. Y'all, I appreciate y'all for being there for me, because just that little bit of video drop got more listeners tuned in. So I really appreciate that. So y'all, until next week, continue to be blessed. Talk to me, and I'ma talk. Bye.